Told you I was going to bring Bandit in again one of these days. How you doing, buddy? You want to look at the camera over there? Yeah? You like it on my lap, don't you? You spent most of the morning on my lap already. Yep. He knows when I'm not feeling all that well, but it's around noon and I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I've got an unboxing for you today. I've got a Civivi that I bought, and I've got two CJRBs that were sent to me by Artisan Cutlery / CJRB. So, yeah, Bandit's bored already, so let's just get to the tabletop and take a good look at them. Hopefully you're not bored like he is. Keep watching. All right, Civivi, we've got the qubit C22030 model E3. These are aluminum and 14C28N. Let's see, that side hasn't been opened. It was this side that was opened. Typical Civivi pouch, which hopefully you're familiar with. And if you're not familiar with it, well, maybe you're gonna have to watch some other videos about it because I'm not gonna talk any more about it. Microfiber cloth and stuff. It's a nice pouch. I like how they're made. This thing is a button lock knife. We've got thumb stud, which I'm a big fan of thumb studs. I really do like thumb stud knives. And we've got a two-way pocket clip. Now, one thing right off the top I wish that they would change is just add another screw right there. It looks incomplete without a screw in there. I know the companies have been doing that for a while already. At least it's got right and left pocket clips, you know, so it's almost ambidextrous. It is with the thumb studs. The button lock, of course, only functions on one side. I can't see how they could make it to function on both sides with the button lock. Because, you know, I'm not an engineer. Aluminum comes, I think, in 5 colors. This really nice, bright, sort of blue kind of color. This kind of a royal bluish color. You can get it red, pink, black. And the green one's got a Damascus blade. Now, you can get this satin finish, this beautiful satin finish drop point blade. Sort of a leaf shape kind of style blade. And, or you can get it with the PVD coating. The PVD, no, it's probably PVD, but then it's black wash. So it's like a black wash finish or this satin finish. And I think the green one's got Damascus if you want to spend a little bit more. And it's not that awful much more money for the Damascus version. So if you like, you know, sort of like a forest green kind of handle color, and if you like that color and Damascus, hey, why not? Why not, indeed. We've got jimping on the spine of the blade here. We've got, you know, sort of a bead blast finish on the pocket clip. We've got, like I said, the button. Alignment's really good on that. Quite nice. You can use it as a bottle opener right there. That's quite nice. Feels pretty good in hand. It doesn't feel slick. It's got this sort of very, very fine texture on this aluminum. So it's almost like they bead blasted the aluminum before they anodized it in the color that they gave it. So that's kind of nice. And like Civivis like to do, we've got a pin back here for a lanyard if that's what you like. T8 screws, nice flush screws. We do have T6 in the pocket clip, which is pretty standard. It's just the way it is. Small Civivi logo there, and of course your T8 screw there. Good action. What's up, Bandit? What are you frustrated with? Haven't got anything to do down there? I brought you your bone. Looking down at the Bandit's right down there, and well, now he's wandering around. He's bored. Hopefully, he won't make too much noise on the video, but there you go. The qubit. How much does this thing cost? $66.90. That's at White Mountain Knives. You can save 10% with coupon code CCE. That makes it $60.21. Not bad. Nice 14C28N blade, full flat grind. I expect it to be a really nice cutting knife once I start using it. Fairly thin behind the grind, it feels like. I'll give you the exact measurements when I do the review. Sort of a forward choil. You can sneak up a little bit, but most of the weight of your finger goes right across, you know, there. But you can sneak up a little bit. Nicely rounded. Very light. quickly look at the balance point. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Well, we'll take a look at that and do the review when I get around to it. Hopefully not too long from now. Like I said, there's two CJRBs that were sent to me by Artisan Cutlery. First off is we've got an Echo. This is the button lock version of the Echo, I think. We've also got a liner lock version. The CJRBs come with a pouch. Yeah, it's bigger than a Civivi pouch. Not quite as nice. Wonder where that dirt came from. A little bit of schmutz on there. But very similar kind of pouch. A little simpler on the tag, the pull I mean, than on the Civivis. But I like their pouches. Their pouch is nice. I like that it's got a pocket in there, you know, that you can put the knife in right inside the pocket. That's kind of nice. So, yep, their pouches are okay. This guy, the Echo, they sent me the black version, the all black version. Is there some... What happened there? Oh, looks like some rubbing of the finish happened during shipping. No, wait a minute, that's something else. I'm going to go get some alcohol and clean that. I've got some denatured alcohol. I'll be right back. Okay, I've cleaned it off, and there's still a little bit of wear on there. Now, I can't say that it came this way from the factory. And that's because those of you who are familiar with my channel know getting knives into Canada gets a little bit tricky. And, you know, the knives get shipped to Nebraska. I've got people there that help me out. And they take the knife apart and they send the knife up to me. So I don't know if this happened, you know, during the shipping between, you know, Artisan Cutlery and Nebraska, or between Nebraska and here, or, you know, after I put it back together again. But as soon as I reassembled it after I got it, I left it in the pouch in the bag. So somewhere it happened. Now, the point is, this tends to happen to this kind of black coated, it's probably the same PVD coating here as there is on the blade. Maybe not the same, but a similar. And I just am not fond of it. And I've said it in several videos. And I really do wish knife manufacturers would watch more of my videos. I know they don't have a lot of time. You know, they're humans. My videos are a little bit long, so they don't know all my likes and dislikes. I would have much rather gotten one of the other versions of this. Maybe the micarta version I think I would like even better, with a micarta handle and a stonewash blade. Yeah, that's not going to show this kind of wear. We've got an end flipper, or a front, whatever you want to call that, a flipper, and then the button. And yeah, the button holds it closed fairly well. Again, we've got right and left pocket clip. There's the option right there. If they do it this way and don't cut out a trench for the pocket clip to go into, then I don't mind if they leave it without a screw. You know, I mentioned on the other one, you can see the big difference here. You know, this has got a big cutout here for the pocket clip to go into. Then it sort of seems naked without the second screw. This looks okay to me. Maybe I'm just super nitpicky. Anyhow, open pillar construction. We've got the pin back here that you can put a lanyard through, the middle one. That's quite nice. A little bit of jimping. There's a hole, so you can do the deployment from the hole or from the flipper, or just simply use the button lock to deploy the blade. And, you know, works quite well. If you use your index finger back here, it feels like the cutting edge is a bit away. It's actually just a little bit over ½ of an inch away, probably about 5/8 of an inch from my finger to the cutting edge. Not bad, but you can put your finger up here into this space right there and get a grip, and that's fine too. Got a straight swedge out here, sort of a Warncliffe style blade, not too thick behind the edge. ARRPM 9 steel, good alignment. Yeah, I'm just not that fond of it. Oh, by the way, Laconico, of course, Ray Laconico design right there. I like that the badging and the details are on the flat up here. Decent spot for it. It's not too in your face, just a little bit. CJRB's in a good spot. You know, I prefer really minimal badging like this, but this is okay too. That's not really that much bigger, you know, than the C on the button. So yeah, that's quite good. I will do my video on this. And yeah, it feels good. I like it. It's a good design, which I would expect from Ray Laconico. Decent feel. Let me see, where's the pivot? I mean, the balance point right there. I wouldn't mind if the balance point was right over where your finger goes, but that's not bad at all. There is weight reduction inside these steel handle scales, liners, handles, handle materials, handles. There you go. Yeah, decent. The Echo. Yeah, like I said, there are liner lock versions of the Echo out there. And who knows, maybe I'd like that better. I like button locks, but I'm not, you know, I don't know what's the word that I'm looking for. I'm not enamored with button lock knives. It's a technology that's kind of cool. It's neat. It works. But I don't dislike button locks. I'm just not a big fan of button locks. So when I say I'm not a big fan, like I said, don't interpret that to mean that Jake doesn't like button lock knives. I just prefer some other styles of locking mechanism over button locks. Button locks are good. They're okay. They're just fine. There's all three of them in this video are going to be button locks. So there you go. I'll leave the CJRB on the screen since I'm talking about another CJRB. And this is a knife that's been out for a while. This is the large pyrite. And they were going to send me one, and I asked them, please send me a micarta version. And I'm glad they did for this. I like this a lot. We've got micarta, we've got stonewash. That's a nice knife. Again, button lock. I wouldn't mind a liner lock version of this. That'd be nice. You know, again, they've kept it fairly thin. We don't have, you know, the same kind of pin back here for a lanyard. We've got a more traditional lanyard hole, which is just fine. It's a nice micarta. It's not, oh, my nose is itchy. Gotta scratch my nose. It's not terribly coarse, but it's certainly not a fine micarta. And a decent pocket clip. Again, don't mind it with the holes this way over here. T8 button screws that are recessed. I wish that they were flush screws. Like these button screws here, that's only showing, you know, sort of a silvery look to it because I've had to, it's been taken apart. From the factory, it would have been all black like that. It's just I've had a screwdriver in there and stuff, so that's what happens when you take knives apart. Same thing on the pocket clip right there. Would have been all black, but these are button screws that are half set in. These again are button screws, but they're T8. You know, I much prefer like what Civivi is doing with their screws. They're more of a flush style screw, but this isn't bad. The T8, I really like. T8 pivot pin. Big blade, not terribly thick. I'll have to measure that. I think that's just under 1/8 of an inch. Maybe it's at 1/8 of an inch, not sure. Almost a full flat grind. It's a really high flat grind. Not quite big enough for a finger choil there again, at least not for, you know, my size hands. And my hands are just barely in the extra large range. You know, just men's large, basically, a little bit bigger than that. And yeah, badging's nice and small there on the blade. Really like that right there, that tiny badging. And that tiny CJRB, really like that an awful lot because clearly I like the brand name on it. I just like them to keep it more subtle. So the Echo, a little too much more badging than I prefer, but this large pyrite with this button lock, yeah, that's nice. Good alignment, decent weight blade, feels good. Try it with the left hand. Doesn't work bad. Just use your index finger to open and close it instead of using your thumb. It's really not that hard. So if you're left-handed and you're concerned with button locks, a good button lock is not that hard to use left-handed, which is why they also did the left screw. So I'm really happy with this, and I really am a big fan of stonewash as well. Let's see how thick it feels. Now this is probably the thickest edge of the 3 knives, but it's still not too thick. That's right near 20,000ths of an inch, I think. And of course, the full video will have the full measurements. So yeah, large pyrite echo, both by CJRB, and here we've got the qubit by Civivi. Do you have any of these knives? Is there one of these you want me to review sooner than the rest? The one that you're the most curious about, you got the most questions about? Let me know in the comments below. And thank you again to my supporters. You guys are awesome. I appreciate your help very much with the channel. It really does make a difference. And remember, friends, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb.